energy. It's too far away. I don't have enough energy. Not enough energy. Don't have energy. I don't have enough energy. Ability is not ready yet. Not enough energy. far away. Ability isn't ready yet. I don't have enough energy. I don't have a target. Ready yet. Target something first. Energy. It's too far. Can't do that. I need to get this. Ability isn't ready. I don't have enough energy. I need a target. I'm out of range. I can't do that. Not enough energy. I don't have enough energy. Ability isn't ready yet. Can't do that yet. Ability isn't ready yet. Energy. Don't have enough energy. Not enough energy. It's too far away. Ability isn't ready yet. Can't do that yet. Don't have enough energy. Inventory is full. It's too far away. Ability isn't ready yet. Can't do that yet. need to get closer. My ability isn't ready yet. I can't do that yet. My ability isn't ready yet. I'm out of range. My ability isn't ready yet. I can't carry anymore. It's too far away. I can't do that yet. My ability isn't ready yet. I can't do that. I can't do that yet. My ability isn't ready yet. I need to get closer. I can't do that yet. Not enough. I don't have enough energy. I'm out of range. My ability isn't ready yet. Ready yet. Not enough energy. That ability isn't ready yet. Inventory is full. I need to get closer. I can't do that yet. I don't have enough energy. Ready yet. I can't carry anymore. It's too far. I can't do that yet. My ability isn't ready yet. I can't do that yet. Not enough energy. I don't have enough energy. I'm out of range. My ability isn't ready yet. Ready yet. Not enough energy. I don't have enough energy. Inventory is full. It's too far. I can't do that yet. Ready yet. Not enough energy. That ability isn't ready yet. I need to get closer. Ready yet. Can't do that yet. The ability isn't ready yet. I don't have enough energy. I don't have enough energy. Not enough energy. I don't have enough energy. Energy. I can't do that yet. I don't have energy. I'm out of range. Ability is ready. Not enough energy. I don't have enough energy. I need to get closer. My ability isn't ready yet. I can't do it. Not enough energy. I'm out of range. It's too far away. I don't have enough energy. My ability isn't ready yet. I can't carry anymore. I'm out of range. I'm not ready yet. I can't do it. It's too far away. Not ready yet. I need to get closer. I need a target. Energy. I don't have enough. Not enough energy. I don't have enough energy. I'm out of range. My ability isn't ready yet. I can't do it. It's too far. I need to get closer. It's too far away. Not enough energy. Ready yet. I don't have enough energy. I need to get closer. Not ready yet. Not enough energy.
Ah, I've been expecting you. May the eternal sun shine. Blood and thunder. Dumb. Makra! Strength! What can I help you with? Strength.
Can't attack that. ability isn't ready yet. Ability isn't ready yet. Ability isn't ready yet. Not enough energy. Don't have enough energy. Don't have ability isn't ready yet. Energy. I don't have. Enough energy. Ready yet. That ability isn't ready yet. do that yet. Ability isn't ready yet. I can't do that yet. Not enough energy. Need to get this. Energy. Not ready yet. It's too far away. Not enough energy. I don't have enough energy. I can't do that yet. I don't have energy. I don't have energy. Not enough energy. Ready yet. I don't have enough energy. Ability isn't ready yet. ready yet. Far away. I don't have a target. Ready yet. It's too far away. Energy. I don't have enough energy. Not enough energy. I can't do that. I don't have to get closer.
Strength and honor. Farewell. What are you looking for? Sug. For the Horde. do you need? Go forth to victory.
What do you need?
Welcome to Orgrimmar. Have you come to serve the Horde? Troll home. Zug zug. Abu. Loktar, friend. What is it you wish? Thrall Hall. Be safe.
Lukta.
I have just the thing for you. Be careful.
Strength and honor. Go with
Is it meant to hang like this?
I think this was supposed to be packaged like that, but it fell apart. But it's
Oh, it's just an adapter. That's funny. How do you call these lights?
neon light.
Isn't it have a different name? Neon? Didn't they used to tube it with glass, and now it's just like an LED and
Oh, it
really
might be,
flexible plastic.
It might not actually be a neon light. It's just meant to look like you're right. It might be LED, and it's just.
That's pretty cool though. I mean,
Flip it around, Ethan.
it's cool to be a simp, y'all. Don't ever say otherwise, because I simp for Hila.
I love the Sims.
We love the Simps here on the H3 podcast. That's actually.
This is so cool.
I gotta say, I feel like neon is a thing of the past. I think LEDs are.
This is the way to go.
It's so much easier.
Wow.
Neon signs make noise too, so
Right.
this is definitely better. Love it. Love it.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure where we can put that up though.
In our new office.
In our new studio. That's
All right.
right.
Right, we're gonna have space for all of this. We'll have a whole Belle Delphine shrine. Now, Hila, do you want to
This one I
analyze this?
I just like it. I want to put it up.
Do you want to
Is it
analyze?
weird to put it up in a home?
No, I mean it looks like Takashi, like a Takashi original, dude. But you gotta analyze it.
I think if I had to I don't like analyzing art. I think it's cringy.
Yeah, but come on.
If I had to, it's like almost like an interpretation of like relationship. It's like a couple hugging each other and then at the same time hurting each other.
Right, but they're kissing. Does that it's just the embrace is both good and bad.
Mm-hmm.
And is it of interest to you that they're both female?
That's not
I'm not
necessarily
sure
female on the
that
left.
it is.
Oh, you think that's a male on the left?
Making the same mistake as the Myron people.
I thought that was a girl on the left, but maybe it's not. Maybe you know what it is?
I think it's not. But,
So wait, if
but
that's-
I don't mind if it is.
Maybe this is the simp, and the simp is killing her with his love and affection.
Maybe that's your interpretation.
Right.
It's the beauty of art right there.
As a simp
The
yourself.
beauty of art. Okay, here we go.
You don't need a knife for that?
No, this one's all.
Okay.
Oh,
Already open.
I see. I think I know what it is. So there's a wrapper here.
Alright.
I think here. Can you hold this end, Hila? I'm gonna pull it out.
Uh-oh.
Oh no. Oh no.
Wow, I don't think we could show this.
Why?
Oh, this you could show. The other side is more suggestive. But it's a diva from
Oh my
Overwatch
God, what?
body. Oh yeah, I know what I'm sleeping with when you're gone.
This is crazy.
Wait, there's more?
Yeah,
What is it?
it's crazy.
What is it? Oh, what the fuck? How did she send this?
I don't know.
Wait, what the fuck? I can't believe her. Oh, she sent the whole neckbeard starting kit.
Oh, that's what it is.
Look at this! It's a fucking sword! It's the neckbeard starting kit, dude.
Oh my God.
This has been my fantasy. Wait, what's in this one?
So that's what that is.
What is?
The painting.
Oh, that's a knife. This is a blade. You
But
know the
it's like-
difference.
it was in my mouth.
Yo, dude, this is my fucking. Sorry, Eva, but you gotta stand back because this is my moment. Dude, she mailed us a fucking blade, bro.
So is this to like her personal protection?
Oh, it's a sheath. Oh.
Eva,
Goodbye.
how do you like me now? I think I know what the sword is for. Cut the lock.
Could it be that we're
No,
not
I'm gonna-
supposed to open it?
No. Are you crazy?
No, I know what's in it.
Oh,
Oh,
listen
you-
to that. Listen to the blade, bro. That's hardened steel. This thing's pretty heavy, man. You gotta be fucking. All right, you ready?
No,
we're doing
are you
it.
sure about that?
We're doing it.
Careful.
You be careful. You're the one putting your hands next to a blade.
But what's your ankle? You're just
I'm gonna
cut
attack
the
it
box?
with my blade. I'm a fucking.
Don't you want me to hold it?
No! Back up, Ela.
You're just gonna ruin this beautiful box.
Back it up. Dude, if Customs saw that she sent me a long sword, I don't think that they would have allowed this through.
I think that's a Zweihänder.
You think it's a Zweihänder?
It's a Zweihänder.
What about a broadsword?
It could be a broadsword. I don't
I'll
know.
have to ask her what kind of Okay, Ela, back it up! Back it up, Ela. She gave me a weapon for a reason.
What's your angle here exactly?
Destruction. Ooh, shit.
I don't know.
This is why she sent the sword, Ela.
It's such a nice box.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna destroy the box.
are,
I'm
stop.
not.
It
This
worked.
is-
You got it. It worked.
I got it.
All right. Well.
Ah!
Okay, Ethan.
I am king of the Sims.
I have to admit, you look pretty good with the sword.
Oh.
Thank you. Now I will open the box with the sword
You don't need to.
This is-
because I'll never put the sword down.
Are you gonna eat lunch with that thing?
I will cut my steak with this sword.
Can I open
No!
It's
If
happening.
they said it couldn't be done, they said we would never come back.
Hey.
Let me shoot this, Oh.
I mean, we made an educated guess about the key. Yeah, there's no key.
Hi, Shredder! Hi! Hi! Are you proud of your dad with the sword? Hi! Oh, you're such a good boy. You want to say hi to Mom? Okay, here we go. We have a baggie with a cool thing on it. It says, thank you. A picture of her with an egg. What's the significance of the egg?
I have no idea.
It says, Dear Ethan and Ela, I hope you enjoy your mystery box. It was a lot of fun putting it together. Love from Belle Delphine. You see, it's to both of us, but she did put my name first. Okay, next we have, jeez, this looks like handmade too. It says Hentai Senpai.
Okay.
It's cool.
I like it.
I'm assuming it's a reference to some kind of tentacle hentai porn.
It's really beautiful.
Does anyone understand the tentacle hentai connection? Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Shreddy, back it up.
it's a fetish.
It's a fetish. It's not like what hentai is.
Not all hentai has tentacles,
Okay. But many
But many
does.
do.
Yeah. What is this? Hug
Hug
me.
me.
There's not like a razor blade in it or something. Oh, why did there's money in it? Why did she send us money? Dude, she's so rich. She's just shoving money in dolls and sending us shit. Why did she just give me money? That doesn't make sense. It's a $100. Is it fake? It's a real $100 bill. Why did she send us $100?
Is it American dollars?
American dollars, 100.
That's
Is
so
this
funny.
fake? It looks small. That's real, right?
Looks real to me.
It has to be real.
I think it's real.
Yeah. Hey! Is this my commission for sending all the traffic to our OnlyFans?
Yeah, there you go.
This reminds me of like something I put together for my crush when I was like in elementary school. Did you ever do that? Like put a bunch of stuff in a box that you think she'd like. I guess when I was like a kid once, I put together a box for a girl that I liked and put all the money I had in it, which was only like $4, and then she returned it to me.
Oh, rejection.
She said, "I appreciate it, but my mom says I shouldn't accept money from boys." Is this another hentai thing? Am I...
Well, she's got the whole like octopus theme going
This is
on. With all
this
her
is like a
shit.
badass stuffed animal.
That's
Yeah.
pretty nice plushie. Oh,
Shreddy.
Shredder's all
Shredder
over
wants
it.
it.
Shredder, you want the plushie? Should he get the plushie?
Would Belle approve?
Yeah, I don't think she gives a fuck. She didn't
That's
make
pretty
it.
cool.
Yeah, it is. They won't break it. They'll
Shredder.
enjoy it. Shredder will enjoy it to its full capacity.
Shred, Alfredo.
Yela, do you want to put on the rabbit ears?
Sure.
Or cat ears, I mean. Not rabbit. How could I? Damn, dude. Holy fuck. I'm just kidding. Wash your hands. Wash your hands. Huh? Just a Photoshop of her without teeth.
It's kind of terrifying.
Yeah, it's kind of terrifying. Shreddy. Oh, there's eggs in here. My god, there's a bunch of. Wait. Oh, it's a fake egg.
Yeah.
Pause.
Oh, dude. Wow.
Are you turned on?
Yes. It's so funny. She gave you the. Dude, you can make an OnlyFans right now, and we would never have to work again. Holy shit. What do you make of this fake egg?
It's part of her.
She's all about
thing.
the eggs.
But is there
Yeah.
anything more to that, or it's just an
No.
egg? Brainwashed. Brainwashed. Yes. Oh, is this maybe too graphic to show the pen? Another H3 sticker? Where'd she get all this stuff?
Wait, what?
Look at this.
Hold on.
Oh, we got a Gamer Girl condom, Ela. We're taking this weekend off. Can you imagine actually using this for protection? She probably pre-pokes holes in it just for the meme. Oh, is this like a art? It's not candy. Is it candy?
That looks
can't
like
even tell what I'm
art
looking
to
at.
me. Looks like ceramic.
She made this too. She's like super creative.
Yeah.
I gotta say.
I mean,
up.
that
I gotta
that
get a
is
good
why
shot of
I
that one.
personally really like her.
I'm starting
I
to think
just-
she's more artist
Yeah.
performer than
That's why I'm into it.
I don't know. She kind of has like this.
Shaking your belt.
Yeah, what'd you say? Can you do this
I
while
really
you're
like
talking?
her.
I gotta say, I kind of have respect for her as like a performing artist. Oh no, Polaroids.
Oh,
How does she have so much custom?
I don't
She's got
know.
a pin of her head. I mean, she's got like the whole universe thing going on. Got the whole Belle Delphine extended universe. So one is with her eating cereal.
Here, let's put it down.
Little twin stars. Okay. One is her eating cereal. One is her drinking milk. One is her. Is this like a? I wonder if this is like a OnlyFans like
That's the
thing
kind of
she
stuff
does.
that they
Yeah.
get.
Broccoli, and one with pizza. Oh, turn me on button.
Hi, this is Belle Delphine.
What was that sound? I recognize that.
Oh, do you?
That's the Pornhub drum loop.
Ah, you fucking, that's so epic.
Hi, this is Belle Delphine.
That's fucking awesome.
I
Dude,
feel like some.
she's from another planet. What
I
is
feel like
this?
some super fan of Belle is gonna break into our house now just to get all
sniff
this.
the packaging. What's this? Oh no. What's in here? Is this gonna? I'm afraid that I'm gonna see like a murder or something and get implicit in a crime. Oh, it's a picture of us.
Of us?
Yeah, and it's a picture of us. More picture of us. Picture of us. Picture of us. That's a dead body. No, I'm just kidding. Picture of us. Picture of Ian and Belle. Ian's
real?
Yeah, the famous picture they took together.
Nice.
Oh, that's it. It's just like, this is so fun. I just love that gadget.
Oh, that's
Viewmaster.
us when I'm pregnant. Us when I'm pregnant. How
Did
do
you see?
do
Did you
this?
see the dead body on the bed?
Yeah, I just didn't say anything.
Okay, here we go. A diary. Oh no, you guys. It's a blank diary. It doesn't have. It's not her diary. Damn. We've got a mug. Oh, a hentai mug. Sip me, senpai. I'm trying not to, but this is, I guess, in porn. That's the face that the girl makes when she's being pleased. That's a face I've never seen on Hila. At the top.
There's
Down.
a lot of the eggs here.
Yeah, there's like a ton of fake eggs. That's just because kind of asking. Like, here, look at all these fake eggs. I mean, where do you even get a fake? I guess they're like decorative eggs. This is like satanic Easter. Bizarro Easter.
Oh, they're like heavy.
Yeah.
Weird.
We got something for the doggies.
Oh,
Welcome, friend.
I'm not gonna like this. He's trying to escape.
Who knows?
It's ready.
Sorry, it's made just for you. This is our Belle Delphine dog.
Shredded.
Shredder, you want to make an OnlyFans?
He's like, oh god.
You don't like it?
He's too masculine for this. Shredder's an alpha male. And then, oh, a USB? What the fuck? My nudes. And like an impossible to break plexiglass.
Oh my god.
Good boy, Shred.
So do you think that there's actually nudes if I break into that? Knowing her, there probably is. Isn't that genius?
Yeah.
I gotta say, I'm so impressed.
I am so impressed.
Wow.
This whole episode
I gotta
is
say,
just
I know. I don't know how entertaining this is, but I'm just genuinely enjoying the process of looking at all this crazy shit she put together for us. Find the key.
Oh, so I think there's a key in here for this.
Well, how am I supposed to... Why?
It's goo.
I got a sword. Oh, it's goo? Ew. Well, where do I put the goo? Here, bring me the packing
Yeah.
box. People actually... Oh, man. Oh, I think I found... No.
I thought I saw the key right at the top of the goo.
She wouldn't,
Oh,
she wouldn't
did
do
you?
that.
Yeah.
Dan. How dare you?
It's now it's buried.
Here it is. All right, I got it.
I love this stuff.
I don't. Get it out.
It's kind of awesome.
All right, let's open this. It's like my grandma. My grandma sent me a box of hentai shit with $100 in it. My cool grandma. This is really light.
Take notes, grandmas.
Yeah. More packaging. Ew, what in God's fucking green God Earth is this?
What?
Do you see this?
Oh my god.
Terrific.
Did she make that?
It says clay per day. I don't think so.
Oh, someone
There's
else?
another one. Whoa, these are crazy. That is honestly terrifying and amazing.
Does that go in here?
Oh.
Oh my god.
There you go.
Those are epic.
Those are
Yeah.
fucking amazing. What is going on, dude? Dude, grandma, I swear to God, nobody's ever gotten me a gift this nice in my whole life. Not even my
Yeah.
wife.
Well, yeah.
And I've never gotten you anything this nice either.
Wow.
And then this, I believe, World House Bath Set. Is this Belle Delphine related, or is this just a... I think it's not. I think... I guess it got broken. I don't think... I guess it... Wait, is this really... I'm trying to decide if this is her toy. No, I don't think so. I think it's just some epic hentai toy.
Yeah.
I think you're supposed to leave it in the box.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hold it up so I can.
Thank you for being considerate. Oh, there's on the picture of her with a knife that's bloody, which I won't show because maybe it's too graphic. So, I have to say that my perception of Belle has changed a little bit after opening that. You know, I kind of think I think she's just a performing artist.
I completely agree.
I don't even think I don't even think the whole OnlyFans pornographer thing. I think that's secondary to her just being a crazy performing artist.
Yeah, I think she can continue beyond that.
Definitely. And it kind of explains why she's so protective of her like identity and personal life too, because she doesn't want to dispel this whole persona.
Yeah.
Because to her, it's not just it's not just about people believing that's who she is. I think it's just her. I think it's just her universe. It's her art that she doesn't want to corrupt with reality.
Hi, this is Vaccine.
I don't know what to say. I think she's a creative genius. I think I'm stoked. I got a fucking broadsword or Zweihander, as Dan corrected me. She should have sent a fedora, I think, with the sword and the hentai pillow.
I don't think so,
If I can
because
criticize
this isn't the. I feel like the fedora is like the old generation of this character. It's and now it's the simp.
The simp. Does the simp wear a fedora? I guess
I don't
not.
think so.
Overall, I couldn't be happier. That was a joy. It was a pleasure. It's the best gift I ever got from anybody in my life. Mom, parent, spouse, grandma. And I'm not blaming you. I never sent a gift that nice to anyone ever.
I make a lot of personal cards to people in my family, but I've never gone this far with like the amount of stuff and detail.
Do you think she's just one of those people that's like a great gift giver, or do you think?
I do think so.
Yeah, she must be.
Yes.
She's probably a good friend to have. There's people like that that just go all out for everybody's.
But I want to say thank you so much. We're going to.
Yeah, we're gonna cherish that
We're
stuff.
actually going to move into a new office, and I'm excited to put all this stuff up there. It's gonna be epic.
Yeah, we'll have a whole I mean, now with the spit, we can really just have a whole Belle Delphine shrine. Maybe we can even just have it on a camera at all times and just switch to it if ever we want to reference her. You know what I mean? So, by the way, we have opened Doc Disrespect. He's back live.
Plug this in.
He's just going live now, so I thought it'd be maybe topical and interesting to do a live
Plug it in here
reaction.
underneath here. We're not live, are we?
Yes, you are. No, I'm not. Oh, I did. You're right. Fuck. I don't think he was saying anything anyway. How does he make all this stuff? Does he make this? I mean, where do you even find people to do all this crazy 80s shit? I guess there's people.
Hires artists, yeah.
Yeah.
The locker room. Oh, this is like his skyscraper. 350,000 people watching. Isn't that a record of some kind? Like for an individual streamer? I read that Twitch had the previous or Ninja had the previous record at like 175,000, and it looks like Doc is absolutely dominating.
Are you
Smash.
sure? I don't think that's the record.
Do you guys have any stats on that?
When he had the
not for the
Drake,
most, yeah, not for the most
Drake
views.
stream was crazy.
Yeah, I think it was just. How many people did Ninja have when Drake was on? Can you guys look that up? Oh, did you turn it down, Dan?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
That was more than 600,000 for
Oh,
Ninja
so
and
what?
Drake.
I read something online that was entirely wrong. So, there you have it. Anyway, I don't know how much value
Stream
there
is,
is in watching this.
Buffering like crazy.
I mean, that's got to be
And
him,
then
right? Not us.
That beat Doc's previous record, which was 388,000.
All right, cool. So you guys were saying, because you guys were all watching the live stream yesterday, that the members were coming in like 10 per second.
Yeah, it was just an absolutely outrageous pace.
I wonder how many you got, because on Twitch actually there's websites that tell you, right? But
Yeah, I don't think it's public, but you know, it was like 5 a second for an hour, so you can do the math.
let's do the
It's a
math.
lot.
5 per second per hour, 5 times 60. Do the math. Crunch the numbers. That's 300 per minute. 300 per minute times 60. Do the math. Crunch the numbers. That's 1,800 per hour. I feel like I'm off. But does that make sense?
I didn't quite follow that, but
1,800 per hour. Do the math. Crunch the numbers.
I literally just looked it up.
Well, so what is it? How many did he get, Ian?
Oh, I have no idea.
What is happening?
I think there was 2. I think he talked.
Ian,
and the soundbite was the.
What did you look up?
I'm near the robot.
Wait, whoa. Hold on. Ian, what did you look up? I'm confused. Is this Zach or Ian doing sound bites? Oh, wow. Doc is up to 440,000. That's crazy.
Yeah, this is a 2-time. My microphone's too low.
How does he do that,
Well,
Dan?
shit, I
Does he
can't
have
even
like a
hear
green
myself.
screen
Yeah.
Well, do something when we get inside of the arena.
door?
Change it. Yeah,
It
yeah.
looks really good, but
But how does he cut it off here? Because he's got to
Mask
be
it.
just mask it. Yeah.
live?
Yep.
Because it's live.
Champions
No,
Club.
I think this is pre-recorded, no? Like
No, I think it's-
pre-edited?
Could
No.
be
11
pre.
years
I mean, that's
ago.
true, but
I think it's live.
you can do it
It
live.
all
no problem.
started on YouTube.
Yeah,
And
he has like
baby,
massive
baby, baby,
overlays.
baby, baby.
Oh, it's just an overlay? Oh.
Yeah.
It feels so good to be back.
He has a massive penis.
Meet me out front.
Ian, he has a massive penis. Why would you bring that up? It's kind of embarrassing. What does Vin
I don't know,
Diesel
ask
think
the
about?
soundbite, I don't know.
Oh, it was a soundbite. Was that a soundbite?
I don't know.
I'm sorry, Ian. Look at how
Yeah, I
fast
wonder
the
where
members
that
are
came
going.
Yeah.
Holy fuck, dude. I mean, you've got 440,000 people. Doc is off the charts, man. Well, he probably how many subscribers does he have on Twitch when they eliminated his account? He's probably just regaining all of his boys back. Okay. Well, good luck to Doc. I mean, YouTube. I like streaming on YouTube. I mean, Twitch is just a weird place. So, congratulations to him. How do we even follow up the Bell mystery package? I know how, Hila. Ringo Starr. Yes, the Beatle Ringo Starr. The famous drummer, world famous. I follow Ringo Starr, obviously. I mean, everybody should. He's a living Beatle, and he's on Twitter. That's insane. He tweeted out this, and I immediately screenshotted it, because I was like, it's not a video, right? It's just this photo. He said, man, I'm having a wonderful day hanging out. Peace and love. It's just this photo. This is like the best old people Facebook post ever.
Totally. Old people Twitter.
It's just him going. It's so epic. You know, Ringo actually has a really funny past on social media. This happened kind of before our time. This is from, let's see, The Beatles Bible, 2008. Oh, wow. This is really old. 12 years ago.
2008?
Yeah.
Whoa.
So this is kind of like a famous internet video, and I wish that I was alive to see this happen before us.
You were alive, but
You weren't alive 12 years ago?
I wasn't alive before I was on the internet either. That's when my life began. But here is, in my opinion, one of the greatest videos to ever grace the Earth. I hope they launch this to Mars when we go there and land civilization. What a dramatic open, too.
Message to everybody watching my update right now. Peace and love, peace and love. I want to tell you, please, after the 20th of October, do not send fan mail to any address that you have. Nothing will be signed after the 20th of October. If that has a date on the envelope, it's going to be tossed. I'm warning you with peace and love, but I have too much to do. So no more fan mail. Thank you, and no objects to be signed. Nothing. Anyway, peace and love, peace and love.
I just love the whole peace and love aspect of throwing shit that people sent you in earnest in the garbage.
his whole attitude is like so. Is he upset? But then he hits you with the peace and
Yeah, but also look at this dramatic opening shot. Like, look at this shit, bro. Do you think, so there's a couple of possibilities. Somebody just started recording and it was zoomed and they forgot. Because they zoom out really slow like they used to do on old cameras. Or it's just a really, why would you want to start on his nose like that?
This is a serious
This is a serious message. All fan mail will be tossed in the bin. Peace and love.
Peace and love, peace and love.
I love that shit.
To everybody
It's the
watching
best.
my update
My
right now.
update.
Peace and love, peace and
He's
love.
almost doing it like a curse.
Right. It's like a voodoo shit. Hey, anybody sending me fan mail? It's almost like if you flip it around and then close this finger. Peace and love, motherfucker.
I'm warning you.
I love Ringo.
Love, please. After.
It's out of my hands, but I'm still in control. It's out of my hands. You can never take away the power of my soul. It's out of my hands, but I'm still in control. It's out of my hands. You can never take away the power of my
President Trump obviously making headlines during the 60 Minutes interview, but one image is getting a lot of attention today. This is the look we have. Remote been filled with the president, Daryl Issa, and the artist joins me now. He is Andy Thomas. Andy, a pleasure to meet you. Welcome.
Brooke, thank you. Thank you for having me on.
So I know you painted the Republican Club, right? The table with the Republicans. You also have a separate painting of Democratic presidents as well. But give me a quick backstory, Andy. Why did you paint this? What inspired you?
Well, the original painting was done in, I've done 3 sets now. The first set was done in 2008 in the lead up to the election. And then we came out with another set that included Obama, President Obama. And so with President Trump, we need to do another one. So we call it just the Republican Club and the Democratic Club.
And Andy, did you have any idea that your painting was hanging so prominently in the private residence?
No, I didn't. I actually had gotten a call a couple of weeks ago from President Trump, and that was a real highlight. Daryl Issa was there, and so was Vice President Pence. And so that was quite a treat, but you know, whether they actually hang the painting or not, we didn't know till last night.
Well, hang on. So the president calls you up. What does President Trump say to you?
Well, I didn't think he was going to call, but he said that he'd seen a lot of paintings of me, and most of them he didn't like, but that he liked what I had done. He was very gracious and kind, and just everything very nice. Very nice.
All right, so he liked the painting of himself, and also just so we get everybody's politics out, you know, I read that you are an independent-minded Midwesterner. So Andy, does that mean you voted for Democrats, you voted for Republicans?
You know, I've not registered anyway. I have some political leanings. I hope it doesn't show in my paintings.
Okay. So when you look at this painting with President Trump and these other Republican presidents, you know, he really does catch your eye. And I'm just wondering, what were the challenges in painting President Trump, and what were you hoping to capture about him?
Well, on all the presidents, in every painting, I always try to make the presidents look as nice as I could. I want to still look like them, but I want to flatter them if I can. I want them to be happy, so I look for a good smile. President Trump was another challenge because he's, even though he tans, he's has a fair complexion and no deep recesses, and so he's a very subtle person to paint. And the face I painted on there is actually the second face. The first one I painted I was happy with, but it wasn't the smile we usually see. So I found a bunch of photographs with this particular smile, and I thought it seemed more appropriate.
I'm wondering, when the president called you up recently, was there anything particular about how you painted him that he really appreciated?
He just was effusive, really, and just as kind as he could be. I have seen some paintings of him. He's a challenge to paint. You know, he has different looks and different profiles. All I know is he said he liked what I'd done, and that made me feel great.
Now, Andy, there is a subtle or not so subtle feminist message in this painting, which I also found fascinating. We've got a spotlight on this female figure, kind of blurry in the background. It's in both paintings. It's
Yes.
a woman. Tell me who she is.
In both cases, that kind of evolved, and I can tell you the story, but that would be, in this case, the first female Republican president walking over to take her place at the table. And same way with the Democratic painting. And I've heard people call it a feminist message. I'm far from, I would be a big disappointment to feminists everywhere, but it's something that's going to happen. It's, it doesn't need to be advocated or anything. We're going to have a woman. 50% of our presidents will be women probably from this time on.
What makes you so sure?
Other countries are doing it and doing it well.
So it's about time we do it here. Well, there is a record number of women on the ballot this year, so we'll see baby steps, and maybe it'll finally happen. Why was this so important? 30 seconds, though. Why was it so important to have that representation in your picture?
Well, the story was I didn't want to have it all men, just because it begins to look like a good old boys club. I knew I wanted to put women in there. I started painting the woman in. I thought, well, I'll just make her the woman walking over the table. And I looked at the painting as I was painting it, and I thought, wow, that'd be pretty intimidating to walk up to that table of powerful people. But then I thought my daughter would walk right up there. She's been doing it for 20 years in business. So, I may be intimidated. My daughter wouldn't be. She'd walk right over there.
I love that. I love that your daughter would walk up to the table. There will be a woman who will walk up to that table. Andy Thomas, thank you so much for taking time with me. I appreciate you.
Legal Eagle is coming in loud and clear thanks to Ting Mobile. Today we're talking about Oklahoma, where the wind doesn't come sweeping down the plain and the waving wheat does not smell sweet, because it appears that Oklahoma is no more. Is it possible that the Supreme Court gave away half of the state? Well, in what some people are calling legal insanity, the Supreme Court in the McGirt case has decided that Native Americans still have reservations in most of eastern Oklahoma, in an area that includes Tulsa. The Supreme Court says that Native American reservations have jurisdiction over some of the crimes that happen in that huge swath of eastern Oklahoma. And Justice Roberts is warning that this is just the tip of the iceberg, that perhaps all of the laws may eventually fall under the reservation jurisdiction and no longer be part of Oklahoma. So the question is, did the Supreme Court just give away half of Oklahoma? Hey, Legal Eagles, it's time to think like a lawyer, because if you live in Tulsa, Oklahoma, you might be wondering whose laws you have to follow and who you have to pay your taxes to. But some of the more fundamental questions are, what is a Native American reservation, and how does that impact the laws that apply in a given geographical area? And does eastern Oklahoma belong to the state of Oklahoma or other Native American reservations? Or did Oklahoma ever, in fact, exist as a state itself? Well, the bombshell decision of McGirt versus Oklahoma delves into the interplay between state law and the validity of land rights established by treaties granted by the US government, with some, including the dissent, contending that this decision will upend governance in Oklahoma. And I've had many people ask what this case is really about. And you would think that a decision that begins with the words, "on the far end of the Trail of Tears was a promise," will surely find its way into case law books in the future. But this was a 5-4 decision that's even more interesting because the author of the majority opinion, Justice Neil Gorsuch, broke with his right-leaning cohorts on the Supreme Court. And of course, it gets even more interesting with multiple dissents, with Clarence Thomas writing his own dissent, because more often than not, Thomas can't even agree with the majority of the minority in its entirety. So without further ado, let's break down the incredible case of McGirt versus the state of Oklahoma and find out what's going on here. So this case starts with the conviction of one named Jimcy McGirt, which of course is the most Oklahoma name you've ever heard in your entire life. And McGirt was found guilty of 3 sexual offenses and sentenced to life in prison in 1996. He challenged his conviction on the basis that the Oklahoma State Court lacked jurisdiction to prosecute him because he's an enrolled member of the Seminole Nation of Oklahoma, and his crimes took place on designated reservation land. And if indeed that's true, that McGirt's crimes took place on reservation land, then he should have been prosecuted in federal court, not Oklahoma State Court, under the Major Crimes Act. The deciding factor for purposes of the Supreme Court analysis was whether the land given to Native Americans in treaties by the US government remains an Indian reservation for purposes of federal criminal law. Now, before we dive into the specific arguments by both the petitioner and the state of Oklahoma, I think it's important to provide some history here, because that backdrop informs this particular case and explains why these treaties existed in the first place. Most remember in middle school history class learning about what is commonly referred to as the Trail of Tears. And here's a quick refresher. In the 1830s, Native Americans occupied large tracts of land in states such as Georgia, Tennessee, North Carolina, Alabama, and Florida. They resided on this land for generations, of course, long before Columbus, the Pilgrims, or the Mayflower. Because of the viability of this land, white settlers wanted to use their land for farming. So in 1830, President Andrew Jackson signed the Indian Removal Act, which gave the federal government authority to exchange this land held by Native Americans for land out west in an Indian colonization zone, which is now present-day Oklahoma. Faced with an invasion by the US government and all of the atrocities that we know go hand in hand with that, the Native Americans left behind their homes, which were looted while they were forced to journey on foot to the land in Oklahoma without any supplies or assistance from the government that was kicking them out. Thousands of Native Americans lost their lives on this forced expedition, which is why one tribal leader accurately referred to it as a trail of tears and death. 4,000 people died on the Trail of Tears. Now, while the main issues involved whether there is a reservation or if it was disestablished by Congress and what that means, it's important to know why this determination has such a significant impact. In 1885, Congress passed the Major Crimes Act, which places certain crimes committed by Native Americans in Native American territory as subject to federal, not state jurisdiction. It states that within, quote, the Indian country, any Indian who commits certain enumerated offenses against the person or property of another Indian or any other person shall be subject to the same law and penalties as all other persons committing any of the above offenses within the exclusive jurisdiction of the United States. The MCA defines, quote, Indian country as all land within the limits of any Indian reservation under the jurisdiction of the United States government, notwithstanding the issuance of any patent and including rights of way running through the reservation. So the determination of reservation or no reservation is the difference between some crimes being adjudicated by the federal court as opposed to the state court. So let's turn to the issues that were at issue in McGirt versus Oklahoma. The first question is, did Congress establish a Native American reservation in the first place? If there was no reservation established, then the petitioner's entire argument would be moot. State law, not the federal MCA, would be the controlling law. The majority opinion concluded that McGirt was right, that Congress did establish a reservation for the land in question, large swaths of Oklahoma. To arrive at this conclusion, the court had to scrutinize the original treaty with the group known as the Creek Nation that was ratified and enacted into law in 1833. The treaty, in no uncertain terms, declared the parcel of land that they were giving in what is now located within Oklahoma to be a, quote, permanent home to the whole Creek Nation of Indians. The treaty even spells out how they would accomplish this. The United States, it provides, would, quote, grant a patent in fee simple to the Creek Nation of Indians for the assigned land to continue so long as they shall exist as a nation and continue to occupy the country hereby assigned to them. Within these lands, the Creeks were to be secured in their unrestricted right of self-governments with full jurisdiction over all enrolled tribe members and their property. This treaty, though many Oklahomans aren't happy about it, is not really ambiguous. It clearly defines the large swaths of area that fall under this treaty and become a Native American reservation. So the next question is, does the reservation still exist today? Or has it been disestablished by subsequent congressional acts? And the majority opinion notes that over the years, Congress has violated its treaty obligations, and this initially undivided land is now fractured into various portions held by tribe members and unaffiliated members alike. Nevertheless, the court opinion notes, rather strongly, that federal treaties and statutes are the supreme law of the land, and that it's up to Congress, and Congress alone, to decide if it wants to breach those treaties. The point being that only Congress, not the states, and certainly not the judicial branch, can explicitly disestablish the reservation. This reminder of the importance of separation of powers among the three branches of government has been fleshed out in countless opinions, as well as Saturday morning episodes of Schoolhouse Rock.
Bring one executive, two is legislative, that's Congress. Bring three judiciary. See, it's kind of like my circus.
But in writing the opinion for the majority, Justice Gorsuch summed it up pretty well, saying that legislators might seek to pass laws that tiptoe to the edge of disestablishment and hope that judges, facing no possibility of electoral consequences themselves, will deliver the final push. But wishes don't make for laws, and saving the political branches the embarrassment of disestablishing a reservation is not one of our constitutionally assigned prerogatives. Recall that Gorsuch is a textualist. He looks to the text of the various laws, and while he might not agree with what the law says politically, if he thinks that the text militates a certain outcome, that's the way that he is going to vote in the Supreme Court. And the bottom line is that this is on Congress, and if they want to disestablish the reservation, they need to do it explicitly without getting the courts to do its dirty work. But that's not the end of the inquiry, because the question remains, did some sort of Congress actually disestablish the reservation? Oklahoma actually claimed that Congress did disestablish the land within the reservation starting around the 1880s. As a result of the congressionally authorized Dawes Commission, the tribes were pressured to abandon their customary living and issue out individual tracts of lands to its members. Both the General Allotment Act of 1887 and the Creek Act of 1901 encouraged Creek members to divide up their lands. This eventually resulted in some individual tribe members selling their land to non-Native Americans as well. But according to the majority, this was nothing like an actual act of Congress disestablishing the entire reservation. Prior Supreme Court cases already had held that allotment is completely consistent with the continued reservation status. Moreover, as we talked about, the language of the treaty itself also made this clear by defining Indian country as all land within the limits of any Indian reservation, notwithstanding the issuance of any patent, including any rights of way running through the reservation. In other words, the treaty provides for the land to be encumbered and divided in a way that doesn't affect the overall reservation itself. And to drive the point home, the court provides an analogy that shows the fallacy of equating allotment, in other words, dividing up the land, to disestablishment, getting rid of the reservation entirely. The federal government has issued its own allotments in the form of what are called patents that transfer legal title to homesteads in the West. And no one is going to argue that the United States sovereignty over the land that they gave these homestead patents to is in any way diminished because of these particular acts. And the same holds true for the land owned by the Creek Nation. The plan might have been to go from allotment to disestablishment of the reservation, but Congress never followed through, and so the reservation still exists. And although Congress took other actions that impacted the Creek Nation's reservation status, like abolishing their tribal courts and transferring all of their pending civil and criminal cases to United States courts, the Supreme Court has held that none of these acts disestablished establish the reservation itself. Even what's called the Five Civilized Tribes Act of 1906, which took away more of the Native American rights, stopped short of actually disestablishing the reservation. The Creek Nation still retained their tribal government power to do such things as collect taxes, operate schools, and legislate through tribal ordinances. However, arguably the strongest evidence that the court provided was that in 1936, Congress authorized the Creek Nation to adopt a constitution and bylaws which actually restored powers that they had previously been deprived of. And to give you a little idea of what the government now looks like, it contains 3 separate branches of government, much like US government generally. A democratically elected principal chief, its own police force, hospitals, and an annual budget of $350 million. So, in other words, the Creek Nation still exists, and so does the reservation in most of eastern Oklahoma. Now, that said, Oklahoma and the dissent tried to use circumstantial evidence and the land's demographics as evidence of disestablishment. In defending their position, Oklahoma suggested a 3-step process to determine disestablishment, where the court A, reviews the laws passed by Congress, B, examines the contemporary events at the time these laws were passed, and C, evaluates subsequent events and demographics. In laying out this approach, Oklahoma and the dissent point out that the state's ongoing practice of prosecuting Native Americans located in Indian country for over a century, as well as the massive influx of white settlers into the Creek Nation's lands over the years. And they also point to various statements made during the allotment era, including those from the Creek Nation, that seem to indicate that most believe the reservation was on its last leg and in the process of being disestablished. But the majority's response to this argument is basically, thanks for the history lesson, but that's not dispositive. It doesn't matter. While the court didn't deny that the context is useful, it's only useful if the court is interpreting ambiguous statutory terms, which is a common canon of construction when you're dealing with language, whether it's a statute or a contract. If you have a contract dispute and 2 parties want different things, and you look to the contract and it's absolutely crystal clear, then there's no reason to then think about what the parties might have said in negotiating the contract, because the contractual language in this case is perfectly clear. But if the contract isn't clear, then you're going to have to look at what's called parole evidence, evidence outside of the 4 corners of the contract to determine what to do, and that's what the court is doing here. And as far as the court was concerned, there weren't any ambiguous terms here. The treaty might be old, but the terms were clear. And as the majority pointed out, Oklahoma and the dissenting justices couldn't identify any cases where these kind of extra textual considerations led to the disestablishment of a reservation. So that takes us to Oklahoma's final sort of last-ditch argument, which actually the dissenters in this case seized upon. And it's what we attorneys call a policy argument. A policy argument is designed to appeal to common sense by highlighting the real-world impact that a legal ruling could actually have. These types of arguments rely more on the factual implications of a ruling rather than the actual statutory language or constitutional framework. And in this case, the argument went something like this. If the court decides that the reservation exists today, then one of 2 things could potentially happen. One, other similarly situated tribes with pre-existing treaties will claim that their reservations still exist as well, with all the rights and privileges that go along with it. Number 2, and more to the point, this decision would disrupt both the numerous convictions that have already been doled out, as well as their ability to prosecute future crimes on Native American reservation land. And in the past, these kinds of policy arguments have actually worked to shoot down Native American claims on their own land. But here, the majority wasn't having it. First, they point out that the MCA is limited. It only applies to certain types of crimes. And B, it does not apply to cases involving non-Native American victims or defendants. And the court also shoots down the claim that the sky is falling by reminding us that the population of the area only consists of 10 to 15% of Native Americans, and many convictions would not be challenged because of the limitations on post-conviction review and a desire to not roll the dice in federal court. After all, just because you're not supposed to be tried in state court doesn't mean you get away, it just means you're tried in federal court instead. And above all, Justice Gorsuch rejected such histrionic claims, saying that we proceed well aware of the potential for constant conflict around jurisdictional boundaries, especially ones that have gone unappreciated for so long, but it's unclear why pessimism should rule the day. With the passage of time, Oklahoma and its tribes have proven that they can work successfully together as partners. And one of the things that's really interesting about this particular case is you get a sampling of the kinds of arguments that you see in a lot of different Supreme Court cases. Some argue from the original text, some argue from the context in which laws are passed, and some just flat out reject all of that and just argue from the policy arguments. But it's interesting to see what worked in this particular case and what didn't. But finally, we get to why you probably came to this video in the first place. What are the implications of this potentially momentous case? Well, in general, this is an important decision because, first of all, Gorsuch's opinion was seen as an acknowledgement that often Native Americans have been promised many things by Congress, and those promises have generally not been held up. And here, Gorsuch and the majority are holding Congress's feet to the fire and making them follow through with what was originally promised, even if it was promised over 100 years ago, or rather over 200 years ago. And although Congress has diminished and restricted different tribes' authority on their reservations severely, the reservation still exists until Congress says otherwise. Of course, Congress can say otherwise. And at the heart of this battle is a fairly arcane law that deals with simply who has jurisdiction to actually prosecute crimes. Here, the MCA applies to Oklahoma on its usual terms, saying that only the federal government and not the state may prosecute Native Americans for crimes committed in Indian country. Of course, the larger question is whether this decision, in the words of Ted Cruz, gives away half of Oklahoma. But really, the practical implications of this decision are not that dramatic. The case does not change any land ownership in eastern Oklahoma. Oklahomans are not going to be forced to abandon their homes and walk 1,000 miles in search of a new home. The decision also does not grant the tribe criminal jurisdiction over non-Native Americans. But it does mean that state prosecutors lack authority to pursue criminal cases against Native American defendants in parts of Oklahoma. That includes most of Tulsa, the state's second largest city. But in fairness, there's a lot left unresolved. The majority decision left open the possibility of other impacts between territorial rights and taxation and other jurisdictional issues. But the court felt that Oklahoma and the Native American tribes could resolve these things amicably. It's unlikely that anything dramatic is going to happen. After this decision, the state and 5 tribes issued a joint statement stating that the nations and the state are committed to implementing a framework of shared jurisdiction that will preserve sovereign interests and rights to self-government while affirming jurisdictional understandings, procedures, laws, and regulations that support public safety, our economy, and private property rights. We will continue our work confident that we can accomplish more together than any of us could alone. So even if you live in eastern Oklahoma, it's unlikely that your day-to-day life is going to be affected very much. And if you live in western Oklahoma and you're trying to get a hold of a friend in eastern Oklahoma, you'll want a cell phone service that works in both, regardless of whether eastern Oklahoma remains a part of the state. And T-Mobile is just the cell service to reach the state, formerly known as Oklahoma. Ting provides great LTE coverage because it uses the T-Mobile, Sprint, and Verizon networks. So you get the benefit of 3 massive networks wherever you go, no matter which part of the state you live in. Ting Mobile is a different kind of mobile provider. With Ting, you only pay for the actual data and services you use at the end of the month. And because you're paying for only what you actually use, Ting customers pay on average just $23 per month for one device. And with Ting, you can use almost any cell phone, including the newest iPhones and Pixel phones. And you can use the same phone number you're using right now. There's no contract, overage fees, or any other carrier tricks. You just pay a fair price for the talk, text, and data that you use every month. And Ting has award-winning customer service. Because they don't have any brick-and-mortar stores, they pour all of their resources into their phone and online support. If you have any issues, you can just give them a call and you'll immediately talk to a real human being. Ting is an especially good deal if you're around Wi-Fi all the time, which of course most of us are because we're working from home. Because you aren't actually using any data on the cell service, you're just using your Wi-Fi. So you'll end up paying way less than you do right now. And Ting gives you the option to pay only for what you use. And if you go to legaleagle.ting.com, you can use your last bill to compare just how much you would save. And Legal Eagles will get a $25 credit by going to legaleagle.ting.com. And that could cover your entire first month of service. So just click on the link in the description. And since there are no contracts, you can try it for a month, no strings attached. Again, all you have to do is click the link in the description or go to legaleagle.ting.com and get a $25 credit for whatever service you want. Plus, clicking on that link really helps out this channel. So, do you agree with my analysis? Are you mad that you watched 20 minutes of clickbait about a dry Supreme Court case that probably won't have much real-world effect? Leave your objections in the comment, and check out this playlist with all of my other real-law reviews talking about all the crazy stuff that's happening with protests, COVID-19, basically all of the news. There's a lot of it. So click on this playlist, and I'll see you in court. Hey Legal Eagles, it's true, a little while ago this YouTube channel did in fact file suit against the White House, the CIA, the DOJ, the Department of State, and a whole bunch of other government agencies. On Twitter and YouTube, I asked for the questions that you had about this particular lawsuit, and you did not disappoint. I got over 2,000 questions about this ongoing suit. And since this is a great opportunity to take you guys along for the ride, I thought I would try and answer some of the most common questions that you had about this lawsuit. Now, I'll start off by answering one of the most common questions, which is why? And I think that the point of this lawsuit was misunderstood by a lot of people. The point of this lawsuit is governmental transparency, which I dare to say I think most people should be in favor of more governmental transparency, especially into a part of government review that is not particularly well known and is famously opaque, and that is the pre-publication review process for people that have classified information and then want to write a book. And famously, this is something that governments don't want people to know very much about. And under the circumstances, it really looks like there were some political shenanigans that got in the way of John Bolton being able to publish one or more different manuscripts of his book for political reasons, not for national security reasons. And a suit like this only works when the government does something that it shouldn't, that it prevents a former government official from being able to disclose information that he or she should be able to disclose. If the government had upheld the standards of pre-publication review, the lawsuit wouldn't have anywhere to go because everything would have been properly classified. Given what we know, it seems that that is incredibly unlikely and that some things were prohibited from being disclosed that really shouldn't have been. And a lot of people also misunderstood what we are trying to accomplish here, which is that, remember, John Bolton submitted an original manuscript of his book to the government. Then they went through a whole process saying what he could and could not publish, and then they said he was okay to publish and then reneged on that agreement when a political appointee came in after the career administrator said that the book was clear to go. So the point of the FOIA requests is not seeking the book that has already been published, but going towards the original book that John Bolton wanted to publish even before the initial pre-publication review. And on top of that, we're also looking for the communications amongst the government officials in terms of what considerations were they thinking about when they said John Bolton could and could not publish things? Is there correspondence with Michael Ellis, the political appointee, saying that John Bolton couldn't publish his book for political reasons? And then, of course, there's the question of what standards, if any, did they use to decide whether John Bolton could publish the information in his book. So we're seeking a lot of different kinds of documents, and not just the book that was published, but the original book that John Bolton wanted to publish, and the correspondence about the pre-publication review process and what standards, if any, they were using. And even if the government didn't disclose anything other than explaining who did the redactions of John Bolton's book, even that would be incredibly important information to get a glimpse into whether the redactions were correct or not. And on top of that, when the US government responds to a FOIA request, they have to provide way more specificity than they do when they're conducting the pre-publication review process. In pre-pub review, they can basically say, remove this information and not really give you a reason why.